this unit, the SWAT team, trains constantly. We've handled close to 600 incidents in the last 13 or 14 years. We've never lost a police officer. I'd say that's pretty effective.
The LAPD SWAT team trains here high in the hills in the San Fernando Valley, where the public is far from the dangers of its deadly routines. And what sets this team apart from all other SWAT teams across the country is that they are the pioneers. They created SWAT.
We went to the military early on for our training. Well, in the past 6 or 7 years, we've come 180 degrees. Now the military comes to us for training. So we quickly realized that we had to be innovative and develop our own tactics.
The Los Angeles Police Department started the SWAT unit over 20 years ago as a result of the Watts Riots. The police decided then that they needed a special task force to control the uncontrollable, that is, people who resort to unusual means of violence or who would take others as hostages. The man in charge here is a classic version of Dirty Harry. He's never been married and he's been with SWAT since it started. Lieutenant Rogers knows SWAT business like nobody else.
This time, there's going to be several hostage targets like this where you're only going to see a head or half a head. Although we normally shoot two-round bursts to the chest on this target, when you guys come in on full auto, forget about the chest and just put 2 shots in the head.
Some claim that the SWAT unit's tactics are crude and aggressive, but actually they're quite sophisticated. They invent their own weapons, go to the far corners of the world to learn counterterrorism, and when you see a SWAT member fully armored in their assault suits, you know they mean business.
Constant training is a way of life for the SWAT team, and here are some of the tools of the trade. A .45 caliber handgun, a 9mm submachine gun, and a bulletproof vest. All of this weighs about 30 pounds. Now, behind me is a live fire shooting house where the team practices hostage rescue.
Assault! Assault! The best training we could possibly provide ourselves was to try to recreate incidents that had happened in the past and try to figure out how to solve it. So that's where we came up with the concept that we still use today, which is we simulate an incident. We put bad guys inside a location, armed suspects, and then our people figure out how to go in and take them into custody or neutralize them in whichever way possible.
When the Olympics came to LA in 1984, the SWAT team had to invent new tactics in order to deal with the possible threat of terrorism, and that they did. This 6-room live firehouse is where the SWAT unit will simulate a real-life hostage scenario. They'll use real ammunition in an exercise called surgical shooting. What that means is hit only the bad guys with split-second accuracy.
Assault! Assault!
2211. 2211. 2211. Officer down. Corner center market. 2211 en route.
Well, according to Lieutenant Rogers, had this been a real situation, the terrorists would have been devastated and the hostages freed in 10 seconds flat. But these guys don't consider themselves modern-day gladiators. They have a job to do, and the fear of death lurks around every assignment.
Every time a guy goes through the door, when he doesn't know what's on the other side, but is reasonably sure that there's an armed individual there that's waiting to kill him when he comes in, anybody that wouldn't be scared under conditions like that doesn't belong in this unit because he's probably a mental case.
The LAPD SWAT team is an esprit de corps unit. They pride themselves in the fact that the Army now comes to them for training. They haven't lost a man since the unit started, and they manage to remain one step ahead of the world in special weapons and tactical technology.
Although we have very sophisticated weaponry and we look rather awesome in our assault suits, SWAT is a life-saving organization, and we almost feel like we're defeated if we have to resort to deadly force. We have on occasion, but we would prefer not to.